Hey everybody, this is Eneferens, and this is the Gallatin Underground.
That was beautiful.
That was really cool.
Thank you.
My name is Vincent Palafox,
This is Aaron Redfire.
and we do the Gallatin Underground Show. Today we're here with Eneferens, and we'll introduce the band members.
Yeah, it's just me. My name is Jory Appadale, and it's a one-man show. I've been doing everything myself since I started the project in 2016. So,
What made you decide to start a solo project like this?
a number of things. It's I played in a bunch of bands that I really loved, like when I was in the Bozeman scene here years ago. And although I enjoyed playing with them, I felt like I didn't necessarily have enough creative input with that. And so, like, honestly, it was like wanting to have full creative control and just seeing what I could do with that. Also, seeing if it was possible to actually do something from the ground up myself. And it turns out, at this point in time, I'm getting pretty good at it now, I think. So
That's cool. Really cool. Was it really hard for you to figure out how to perform it all live?
A little bit, yeah. I basically, after recording everything in, like, you know, the full album format style, I kind of went into the mixes and kind of tweaked things, just trial and error, just to make the live guitars sit well with the rest of the tracks and stuff like that. So kind of just took, a couple months of just trial and error trying to figure things out, and it's a constant process too. So keep tweaking things all the time.
Oh, that's super cool. I guess for the audience's sake, why don't you let them know what you're playing and kind of how you went through and compiled your mix and what you did to record all of the parts in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the stuff I'll be playing today is from my most recent album, The Bleakness of Our Constant. Came out last October, about a year ago. So basically on this album, I decided to just keep it pretty minimal with 2 rhythm guitar tracks, panned hard left, hard right, leads and harmonies kind of interspersed, 1 main vocal, The instrumentation I played on this is my 7-string Ibanez Iceman guitar. It's got DiMarzio pickups, and it's perfect for the sound that I want, both clean and heavy. I'm playing through a Mesa Boogie Mark V 25-watt head, and it's plenty loud and in a really great tone, but it's compact, so I don't have to break my back every time I lug it to a gig. So
that's convenient.
Yep, totally, yeah. So, and drums, I played the drums physically, although it's on an electric kit, and the software I've used is a Superior Drummer, like the Metal Foundry package. There's a lot of great samples, and it sounds honestly better to me than if I was just to try and mic up a kit in like less than ideal space, because I don't really have a professional, recording space. So
sure. So do you just use like triggers to, like you load in the triggers from the sound pack? Or?
Yeah. So basically within the DAW, use Cubase to record everything. Within that, you can just load up Superior Drummer, and it'll track the MIDI like real time without any latency when you're playing your
actual, right. Okay. So
kit. So.
You just use a MIDI track then for the drums.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay. And then when you do that, is it do you quantize it at all, or do you just kind of roll with it?
I practice a lot, and so I try not to quantize unless I absolutely have to. If a part's just really tripping me up, or like if there's a prolonged blast part that I can't quite get, I'll just punch in and kind of just continue with that. So.
Just until you get it right?
Right, yeah.
That's
I
really
like to
cool.
keep it as human as possible. So.
There's an advantage to that, too, because like if you mess something up and you don't want to redo the whole thing, you can just isolate that one spot you messed up.
Exactly, yeah. And there's no real bleed with dealing with MIDI, whereas like you'd have to record a whole drum part if something's not quite right,
Yeah.
You can't just go in and edit. So
did it take you a long time to learn how to do that, or?
Not really. I've been working with MIDI since I started college back in 2010 stuff, and so it's felt pretty natural to me.
Second nature.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
So you record the drum parts on an electronic kit, and do you mic your guitar or do you direct in?
I mic it. Yeah, I mic the cab. Just there's a sweet spot I've got there. And it's just it always has sounded better to me that way. I've tried a lot of like direct ins and a lot of different like amplitude and a lot of that stuff, and it just hasn't quite had the right sound for me. So.
It feels like it's either not saturated enough or it's too saturated and distorted, and the space is wrong.
Right. Yeah. Totally. And sometimes in my experience, a lot of like the real distorted tones I wanted like on a software is like much too mid-rangey for me, and then you just have to do some EQ scoops and stuff like that. And just mic in the cab eliminates all those problems.
Watch out.
So.
About to scoop the mids.
Right? Yeah. What mids?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I see you got a huge pedal board out here off to the side.
Yep.
What do you run out of that? Is it just everything on all the time on, or?
No, so I mean, this is one of the rare occasions where I actually have all of my pedals hooked up, just because it's nice to, when I'm experimenting in the studio, I like to just have options. But when I perform live, I mean, it's such a minimal setup. I have like my channel switcher for the Mesa clean and distorted channels. My lifeblood pedal is the Strymon Big Sky. It's the only reverb pedal you'll ever need. It's incredible. It's so good.
That's cool. Yeah, I could definitely notice the texture and the reverb that you use. It's really wide and spacey, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't sound cheap or
not at all.
Super expansive. It's exactly what I wanted. So
that's cool.
So there's that, and also a little boost pedal. It's just transparent gain if I need to just break through a little bit for a lead or something in the mix. And this new thing I actually got, and it helped me out a lot on tour, is it's the JHS Black Box Attenuator. It's this tiny little black thing here.
Uh-huh.
And basically, you plug it into your effects loop, and you can kind of just set your channel gains on the amp to, like whatever you want, and then dial the volume back essentially. So it's like basically a master volume, but also like you can get super saturated, beautiful tones at super low volumes by just dialing it down on the black box pedal. So it's been amazing.
So you're actually still able to push the drive out of the head with pulling the volume level down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, I think Tommy needs one of those.
It's pretty cool. There's only maybe $50.
No shit.
And it's passive. You don't have to. It's not powered. So yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Pretty cool thing. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I got it as a Black Friday special last year. So.
Shit. Yeah, I will remember that.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Super helpful, and especially since my amp doesn't have like a master volume overall, I have to constantly adjust each channel. So I try and find a balance, and then just kind of go from there with the pedal to make it a uniform volume.
Yeah,
so,
and with tube amps, it's really hard to get that slight fine line of what's too loud and what's not.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's a good trick. I will not forget that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you went on tour?
Yeah, so I did. It was the biggest tour I've done so far. It's the second full U.S. tour I've done. Where it's basically coast to coast this summer. It started beginning of July, ended mid-August. My last show was actually here in Bozeman when I moved back on the 12th. And so, yeah, it was. I started in Minneapolis. I was living there for a couple years prior to coming back to Bozeman here. And so I started the tour off there. And I can just, if you want, I can list the dates for you. So I went to Minneapolis, Chicago, played Detroit, then over to Boston, Brooklyn, New York, Garwood, New Jersey. This weird little divey place was super fun.
Rad.
Let's see, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and some huge gaps. Went to Lafayette, Indiana, Lincoln, Nebraska, Denver. Then had like a week off. I just spent time with my friend in Portland. I played a really great show in Portland, Oregon, and then Seattle, actually Olympia, then Seattle, and then Jester's Bar in Helena, and then filling station here in Bozeman.
No shit, that's a hell of a
super fun time. Yeah,
hell of a tour.
A lot of driving. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you don't have to get tired of your bandmates and stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, the only conflict is inner conflict.
Yeah. Which I'm sure there's plenty of those. So.
Well, depends on the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I like myself enough to get along pretty okay. So
that's good. What do you think was the coolest show or the coolest experience while on tour that you had?
I guess in an overall perspective, just meeting so many amazing people and amazing musicians on the road. I made a lot of definite lifelong friends from here on out from being on the road. As far as my favorite shows I played, the real high point for me was playing with Barrowlands. All the people at the show were my buddies. So Barrowlands, friends in Portland I've known for a long time. Alda, maybe one of my favorite American black metal bands. And then a real special treat, Don Anderson from Agalock, legendary cascading black metal band. He played an acoustic set to open up the whole show, and it was just
acoustic black metal.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Yeah,
that was cool.
The huge turnout. Made some
Everyone's
pretty okay money on
just
that show.
Blown away, huh?
Totally. Yeah,
That's
everyone was so stoked
cool.
the whole night, so it was awesome. And then I guess my other show in Denver at the High Dive. It's a really wonderful venue. I had played with a couple buddies' bands over there too. Super solid, amazing turnout for a Wednesday. Even the promoter was just wow, you really pulled a crowd. We'd love to have you back on a weekend or something. I'm I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah,
pretty
sure.
cool. So yeah, it felt really good that the response was so positive. It was
that
awesome.
Sounds like it was an excellent tour.
Yeah, definitely. So.
And you went through with the whole 9. You got all your merch lined out and album pressed. That's
I had all my ducks in a row. It was pretty cool.
Really
cool.
Yeah,
worked out.
So.
I sold out of vinyl. So
no shit. Wow.
Have to get some more from the label. But yeah,
that's fucking way cool.
Are you signed to the label?
Yeah. So I've been working with 2 labels actually. One is Binder In Recordings out of Michigan. They do similar artists to me like Panopticon, and they've done Falls Auroros and bands in the past. And I'm also with Nordvis Production in Sweden, and he handles the European territories and basically does the same thing. They kind of have worked hand in hand in the last few years, although I think they're parting ways now because of things that have happened. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So
shit happens.
Right, exactly.
Yep. All you can do is move on, I guess. So.
Yep. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's hear another song. What do you got for us next?
Okay. This is the second track on this new record. It's called This Onward Reach.
The Onward Reach.
Yes, indeed. Here we
go.
Carried, I learn with no beast to breathe.
that was like a journey.
It's not the first time someone's told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a wild ride there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say what I really like best is how like what's the word I'm looking for? Flexible your voice is, because you can go from that like growly, like primal, like voice to like singing just like very beautifully.
Thank you. Yeah, I work hard at that.
I definitely noticed that. I mean, I've only seen you perform live twice. Once was when you came back from your tour here, and then I caught you at the open mic here this last, and you're just playing some covers, and I was just so totally blown away by your voice both times. Well,
thank you. Yeah, that means a lot.
It's incredible. What are you, a choir boy or something?
I definitely was. Yeah, I started.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was in
really?
choir and orchestra.
I wasn't trying to talk shit.
No, but seriously, yeah. And like my first year and a half of college, I was on vocal scholarship for classical.
No
voice.
shit. It
turns
shows.
Out,
it's incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it turns out opera is not necessarily my thing, but I definitely kind of take those techniques and everything with me, and yeah.
That's fucking
in a
cool.
more rock sort of fashion, but yeah.
That's way cool.
So, yeah.
Okay, I see that you collect a lot of guitars here. I count 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, some of them are my brothers in this space too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
But do you have an addiction to collecting guitars?
Not necessarily. I just found like good opportunities or good deals on things. I actually had more, but that's a different story. I was my first week of living in Minneapolis, St. Paul's. I was burglarized, and someone made away with 4 of my guitars.
Oh,
three
no.
guitars and a bass. Yeah, my favorite equipment. This Iceman I'm playing right now is a replacement because I had the same exact guitar model and everything. But
I know
missed it
that
so
feel
much.
so hard.
So I had to
Same
find
shit
it on
happened to me.
eBay, and it was way more expensive than when I brought it. Like I bought it brand new. So, but yeah, I mean, I love guitars. There's different sounds for everything, and I mean this Ibanez I'm playing is my main workhorse for Eneferens and stuff. But like other like softer projects and things like that, I use like the 1945 Gibson I have and random other things just for a warmer, smoother sound. So
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That sucks that you had your gear ripped off. Aaron was in the same boat a few years ago.
Yeah, it's awful. You just feel so violated. Yeah,
oh, man.
It's incredible that like
whoever does that to another musician is just the biggest piece of shit in the
absolutely
world.
just scum of the earth. Yeah, so yeah, but there's a story with that for Eneferens directly is that like I had renter's insurance, and so like they reimbursed me a little bit, but the deductible was so high that I was maybe able to repurchase one guitar.
Oh,
so what I did is I last thing I ever want to do is ask people for money, but I'm like, here's an idea. So like I had an acoustic guitar still, so I recorded a 4-track Eneferens acoustic EP, and I'm like, hey, if you want to even just give me $1 to help me out for my misfortune right now, I'll give you this album back. And, it's just like, at least I can give you something if you're going to help me out. And so like I did a GoFundMe, and I raised, a little bit of money to at least get this guitar that I'm playing now and a bass and stuff. And
that sucks to have that happen.
Right. I mean. Yeah. So, but the plan was just to take that EP off of the internet after the campaign was ending. But by popular demand, people were just like, you need to leave this up here. This is really good. I'm like, well, I recorded this in like a really dark time, and like it's hard for me to listen to, but if you appreciate it, then like who am I to just take that away from you? So yeah.
Sometimes that brings out a character that wasn't there before,
exactly. Yep.
So unfortunate events, but it still sounds like you made a good thing in the end.
Yeah. Right. That's kind of my approach. Like I take, with everything in music, I just take kind of dark energy and try and turn it into something beautiful or positive. So
that's cool.
It's really cool that people were able to help you out.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still so grateful for everyone who contributed. Like it blew my mind. I really felt, loved and cared about. It's pretty cool. Gave me hope.
I remembered what I was going to ask you earlier. So your genre, I mean, you mentioned you played with a lot of black metal bands. I have a hard time saying that you're black metal, but I also have a hard time not saying you're black metal.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I think it sounds like fantasy, like power, like black metal.
I'm not sure.
There's a lot of things going into it, and I feel like it's always been that case. Like there's doom in certain songs. There's like I'm definitely huge into like shoegaze and that kind of dreamy sort of rock sound. So that's in there too.
I definitely hear a lot of like that. I don't
Gent.
influence. No, you gotta pronounce the dealer. It's not right.
Gent.
Sorry, that was just for
DJ
Parker,
Gent.
my drummer.
Do you like gent?
I don't at all. It's not my thing.
But
I heard
you
that-
can
I like
hear
my
that
sugar.
dreamy,
Gent is just
that little
dubstep for
dreamy,
guitars.
dreaminess, you know.
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Oh, for
But
sure.
you totally come back in with such a heavy riffs and like
Mhm.
the vocals to like, no, that's not the same anymore. That's
Right.
something different.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think the balance is like kind of what makes this project happen. You know, it's I like having both sides, the light and the dark, kind of, and try and figure out how that can go together. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your songs all kind of like tell stories, I feel.
sure, right.
So I would call it myth metal.
Myth metal, I like
Myth metal. That's not bad.
that. Cool, yeah.
Speaking of like myths and stuff, like I can't help but notice this like super occult looking like sigil type thing that you have on your guitar. Earlier you told me that's kind of like your Eneferens symbol.
It is, yeah, and it's on the cover of my new album. It's something I have been kind of trying to scheme up for quite a while. I basically wanted some sort of like symbolism that represented me, but that didn't necessarily have words involved in it or letters. So I'm like, let's see what I can do. So I found like, thank you. I found the alchemic symbols for like earth and sky. I'm like, how can I like bring these together? Because it's basically the triangles with the lines through them, and then they're joined by this single line. And I basically it represents like the Elder Futhark rune, you know, like Viking runes. Esau, which is just the straight line, and it means either stasis or ice. So it's kind of like everything in harmony or in like a chilled state. So
That's really cool how
That
you
is
like
cool.
took all
Yeah,
those
right.
different
It's open for interpretation.
Yeah, that's pretty
all
cool.
those different like spiritual like kind of things and like
Right.
combine them into your own like symbol.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
And not to like promote Rogue Brewing, but we're totally enjoying this bat squatch we're drinking today.
This is a hazy, juicy beer here.
Yeah, it's all right. Give us some money, Rogue. We're promoting your shit.
Sponsor these guys.
No, yeah. So you've went on tour. You've got an album. Are you in the process of recording a second album?
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of stuff right now. So I'm doing a split record. I don't know if it's not been announced yet, but I'm working on a split record with my friends Barrowlands out of Portland, who I played with earlier this summer.
Cool.
They're just really great buzz, and I love their music. And so we're gonna see how that goes. And I'm also working on a new full length Eneferens record. And on top of that, I'm also working on some random other projects that they've been on the back burner for forever, and I just haven't had the time to do it. So
More solo stuff or?
more solo stuff, yeah. I might bring in some extra musicians for the recording and stuff, just for fun, just to do things with friends. But like, I'm definitely like, metal is such a big part of what I do and what I love. But like, there's other things that I always have wanted to explore. So might be surprised, but like something a little more pop oriented is kind of like, I'm really craving that right now. So I'm gonna
Do it.
what I can come up with. So
I bounce all over the board.
Right.
People are often in awe or disgust of some of the stuff that I do.
yeah,
They're like, "What the hell is that?" Or I didn't know you could do that.
A mixture of awe and disgust.
Yeah.
you're getting
yeah.
reaction. That's important.
Yeah, and I don't care. So
Yeah.
I just enjoy playing music. But that's really cool to watch somebody like just jump out of their box and say, "No,
Right.
I'm gonna do this," even though people don't think it's my personality.
Right. Yeah. I mean, people like what they like, so it
Right.
might like kind of be an eye opener for some people. It might turn some people off to like think that Eneferens isn't like super cult or anything. But I'm not trying to please those kind of people anyway. You know? I just want to make good music. So
That's cool. I don't think it should matter whether you are into the occult and play metal or you just
Right.
want to play pop music and are into the occult. But
Hey,
Yeah,
everybody in pop music's into the occult.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
right.
Illuminati.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
for sure.
speaking of the Illuminati, didn't you join that last year or something?
Yeah. Shh, we're not supposed to talk about that.
Right. Yeah. It's classic.
Oh yeah, right. Secret handshakes and shit.
I'm probably going to get killed for that. Thanks,
Oh
Vince.
dear.
Well,
Okay.
it's your fault for fucking joining.
On your guard.
So, what was that last song about?
So it's kind of about, the overarching theme of the record is just internal struggle and just trying to overcome and just, be an okay like person inside your head. So
Pushing through life.
right, yeah. I experienced a lot of much less than ideal things in my time in Minneapolis. It was a great place to live and everything, but I'd find myself in a really kind of down headspace and like get discouraged a lot of the time. And so like part of like the lyrical process for me after I'd written these songs was just like, let's reflect on like how I was recording this, like and the things that were going on with me. And this one in particular, this is the first song I wrote lyrics for. And getting into that groove of that is like lyrics are definitely the hardest part of the songwriting process for me. Like the music just kind of flows out of me. You know, it seems easy. If I have a couple of ideas, I can just make them work together. And then we're just like trying to put words to how I actually feel about the music is such an endeavor for me. And so, trying to think. I mean, I feel like most of my lyrics, just are open to personal interpretation. This one to me, it's accepting that pain is real, but don't let it like overcome
Consume you.
Right, exactly. Like you're strong enough, like no matter who you are, you can get through it. So
that's a good message.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
So, and pain is mostly temporary in situations. So yeah.
There's usually some sort of resolve or way around it, or
that's not very black metal to say. You're supposed to say something like "pain is eternal."
Right. Evil. Yeah.
I don't know. I like that approach. I mean, you look at bands like Dashboard Carl, and they're definitely not black metal, but they're very
their music sounds dark, but
and
the message
sounds
is
dark, but
good.
it's very very positive message. And
totally, yeah.
I think that's cool that bands are starting to like say it now. Man, it's cool to be happy.
Right. I mean, we're all trying to be,
yeah.
And like I love like all the black metal ideas and everything like that. A lot of the, just like the super dark and cold sounds and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I'm just I love the music a lot. And I'm kind of just taking it as a vehicle for something a little bit more personal and different for me. And I've always been just trying to be like a more positive person. So I think that just translates naturally in my music. So.
No, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Rad. Well, I guess let's hear your next song if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a track called Amethyst. out of reach and tangled mind for what could have been, and now we'll never
Shit, I wasn't expecting that ending at all. I was like, oh, all right. The wave's still hitting me. Hold on.
Bring it back just a little more. Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
Thank you.
That's way cool. So I guess something we kind of always like to ask other musicians from the area is, who are some of the other bands that you like to go out and see around here?
I really am. I mean, I used to play in Archeron Thodol. I'm huge fans of those guys. I'm really good friends with them.
Super rad band.
Love them a lot. Ranges is one of my favorite bands in the state too. They're so amazing. Yeah. Beautiful, like, brand of post rock that they do, and they're doing really well, which makes me really happy. Let's see here. My friend Noel Lacey, who hangs out at the Hop Row all the time, he's a really incredible singer-songwriter. Really like his stuff. Man, on the spot, it's hard to think. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this small town, which is remarkable. And it's really cool to be back here. I feel like a big shift from like living in Minneapolis to coming back here is like, it feels like a lot of other musicians like really support each other here more than they did in like the really kind of competitive Minneapolis scene. Although there was a lot of support and like brotherhood and like good stuff happening over in Minneapolis, I feel like more at home here again. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. What about like places that you like to play? What do you think your favorite place to play in the Bozeman area is?
That's a tough question. I mean, I always love the filling station. It's a great place. I'm really sad that the Zebra is closed. I really enjoyed playing there, especially when my friend Chuck Goodwin was on sound. I appreciate him every time. Yeah,
legend.
Yeah, exactly.
Rest in peace, Zebra.
Yeah, right.
Chuck's not dead, dude.
Well, Chuck's not dead. The Zebra lives on in our hearts.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, let's see here. I mean, it's been forever since I played a lot of the venues here, since I haven't lived here in a while. But like, we had some really awesome nights at the upstairs ballroom at the Eagles.
Yeah.
In the past. I have not played at the Rialto. I hope to soon. Seems like a really cool space. So
yeah, it definitely looks cool. We went to that punk rock showcase there. It was pretty rad. they've got a lot of great bands coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of like the Rialto and a lot of these other bigger venues that are coming into town, I know that there's that amphitheater that that's they just did up at the top of Sourdough. Remember the name of that?
I haven't heard of that
Eagle
at all.
Mount, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a pretty big amphitheater out there. I think they did a handful of shows there this year. I assume they were just trying to get their feet on the ground,
Right, it's test things out. Yeah.
And then there's
you
that
missed a total opportunity to make some sort of pun about them flying.
I couldn't think fast enough, and you didn't have my back. So.
Not even in that right frame.
It's not my job to point out all the best puns.
Oh boy.
Ooh, well then, what are you doing as co-host?
No, I mean, I guess I was trying here, but I couldn't think of the pun either.
All right. So, and then we got other venues like the new Log Jam venue that's coming here.
Oh yeah,
they're constructing. Do you think that that's gonna hurt or help local musicians?
It's really hard to say. I think it really depends most on like the people booking, the people
management,
running. Like a lot of people like don't want to take the risk of like having an all local band because they don't think they're going to make any money. But I feel like we really need opportunities like that. Like to
help
bring everyone together, like
yeah.
keep the scene alive here because there's a lot of like wonderful people here trying to make their way. So
and great bands, incredibly great.
Oh
bands.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen in the next couple of years because I feel like it changed. It's up and down all the time. Like a couple of years ago, like even like I was living in Missoula, and the Palace Lounge closed, and so did Stage 112 and all those things. I'm just
right,
like, wow,
Missoula went through a huge,
insane,
huge loss of music venues over the last few years.
Right, yeah.
So. And there's been some new ones sprouting up. Of course, the little house venues like Flavortown, the stuff that really make it fun to go to.
Sure.
I mean, to me personally, I just love playing house parties. They're kind of
totally.
They're kind of the best little
absolutely.
bang for
I
your
love
buck,
small intimate shows. Yeah.
They don't necessarily make you all the money in the world, but they are.
Oh, they are
always
always
fun.
like memorable.
Super fun.
Totally. Yeah. You can't trade that feeling for anything. Yeah.
No, it's so cool.
Totally.
Well, that's rad. So yeah, you're planning on tour again next year? Is the idea or?
Yeah. It hasn't been announced yet, so I can't really say much about it, but. I have a tour being put together for me already for like the end of May through June.
Hell yeah!
With some, I'm in support of some bigger bands. I can't announce what that is yet, but I'm really excited about it. So
that's super cool.
So, yeah, so good things happening. I'm just trying. My goal is to like finish the bulk of my recording by the time I hit the road next summer. And hopefully have some sort of physical thing of something new that I can sell to people on the road. So,
do you have a tentative title for your next album or recorded material?
Oh man, not at all. I toy around with ideas all the time, but nothing's really totally stuck yet. I'm still kind of in the developmental stage. I feel like once I kind of, once I kind of get the overall arc of where the album's going, I'll know a lot better. That's something like, again, like lyrics are hard, but like coming up with like song titles or like an album title.
That's even harder.
Right. I pondered with the bleakness of our constant. I pondered with that, like just ideas for that for seriously like 2 months before I was able to be like, oh, okay. I mean, it was in the lyric of one of my this last song I'm gonna play for you. It's the last thing you hear me sing in that song. I'm like, I just looked through my lyrics. I'm like, oh shit, that's perfect. Actually, why didn't I just think of that originally? So
yeah. Sometimes you don't catch it right away.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know myself.
No, there's a lot of bands that struggle with naming of songs and albums and stuff like that. I mean,
right.
I mean, it's universal. Right. I mean, the last band, Leaf Blower, we interviewed, super great band. They're pretty new. I was like, yeah, so just send me your song list of the song names so I can get them right for the interview and stuff. And they're like, oh, do you just want to name them for us?
They're like, this one is called song number 5.
Right. I was like, I haven't done that before.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for the longest time, like in my recording sessions, they were just called like track A, track B, track C.
Right. Yeah. Like it's Aaron's very agreeing with that mentality. Perfect example with Aaron's band Cannabis, Quick Save number 5.
Yeah, that like we literally just named the song after because like Ian's phone was about to die when we were recording the riffs.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, quick, save it. And like for some reason number 5 got put in there, and like so like when we were like trying to listen to that song again, it says quick save number 5, and we just
kept it.
Well,
totally kept
we'll
it.
Just put that in the lyrics.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Sometimes things just happen.
Yeah. So no, it's
Embrace
awesome.
It. Yeah.
Naming songs, like who cares about the name of the song?
As long as it has the number 5 in it, that means it's golden.
Oh,
Well, I don't know about like Mambo number 5.
Yeah, Mama
thank
number
you.
5 was a hit.
It was.
It was not golden.
Doesn't mean that I like it.
It was, well, I mean, I don't know if it
Yeah.
was
Unless
technically
you're into like
golden.
golden
but-
showers or something, but
You gotta cut that.
nope.
Yeah. My favorite band, Maroon 5. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's
Everything with the name 5 in it is dope.
right. Yeah.
At least on some level to
5
somebody.
guys.
5 guys, yeah. Damn.
5 on black.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah.
No,
High
no.
5. All right.
High five.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
What about 5 Finger Death Punch? Those
Wow.
guys rock, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion.
We're talking about the importance of the number 5.
All I'm saying is 5 fucking sucks.
5. I'm
What? Wait, was it? Is that a Pixies reference?
No,
I don't know for sure.
I mean, God is 7.
no, that's a number of things. But yeah, that's a Pixies reference.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. I think we got like way off track.
It happens.
So, like, what is? I guess like what I'd like to ask, because we
Yeah.
never really touched on it. What is like your primary influence, like among the bands that you do like just a number one?
Oh man.
If you had to pick one, you know.
Just one?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so hard.
I know. I hate that fucking question.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you a list of like 5 or 6 easy, but like
No, just one. That's all
okay.
Aaron ever wants. Just one. Narrow it down.
Well, at this point in time, although my music is a little bit different than theirs, there's this band from Eastern Europe called Kauan. They're
Cowan.
How do you spell that?
Kauan. They've just been like they have this one. It's an album called Sorny Nai, and it's a single track album. It's like an hour long, and it's one of the
Holy
most
shit.
beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard in my entire life. And it's like it literally has like changed the way I think about music, and I like aspire to like make a record as good as that sometime in my career. So,
From
yeah.
beginning to end, a total piece of art.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like timeless. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to listen to that in like, you know, if I'm still alive for like 60 years, and I'll be like, yep, this holds up.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. So
That's cool.
it like the style of music is like kind of post genre, kind of dabbles in like doom metal, but not all of their stuff does. Their most recent record is all softer, but it's pristine. Like the guy Anton Bailov is the main songwriter. It's essentially a one-man band. He has like I think his girlfriend or wife do like
a couple parts
female
in it.
vocals and random
That's
other things,
cool.
but yeah, just monumental. I recommend them to anyone who appreciates beautiful music of any sort. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely have to check it out.
yeah.
What
So-
do you ever think about inviting somebody else into your little bubble here?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's been a really pressing issue on my mind. Not necessarily an issue because I'm doing okay by myself so far, but like, yeah. So like, I mean, it was something really eye-opening is like a lot of people I played with on tour, like in these fantastic bands, especially in New England. A lot of people were straight up telling me like, if you need a guitar player or whatever, I'd be happy to play rhythm guitar for you or anything. Like, you know, it's like I could have a full band put together pretty easily, but it might just be people from all over the country. I don't know how I can quite like just logistically make that happen. But like,
Oh, you've heard of Green Jello, right?
oh, of course, yeah. Heard that guy's an asshole. But,
Total. But it still puts on a good show.
I'm
Right,
glad you
yeah.
didn't pronounce it
Brings
green
people in.
jelly.
Oh, whatever.
there's 2 incarnations. I
jam
thought the
my
newest
jelly.
one was called Green Jello.
No, they had to change their name to Green Jelly because of a
Oh,
lawsuit from
Right,
Jello.
Jello. Oh, nice.
And
okay.
they were like, well, we're going to put an umlaut over the Y. That makes it sound like an O.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing that I'm looking into maybe doing. I mean, one of the biggest things with that too is I want to be able to pay these talented musicians what they're worth too.
Right.
And right now, I mean, like touring the U.S., I mean, I made a little bit of money, and I was able to be, you know,
Self-sustaining.
in the black, and I was able to come home and have some savings. But like if it was the full band, we would not have broken even, and it would have been really tough for us. So
Yeah.
yeah. So something I'm thinking about all the time. But I think as things continue to grow and more opportunities present themselves to me, I think it's definitely a doable thing that I would like to do. So
Sweet. That's
Yeah.
cool.
we'll see.
Yeah, just time tells, right?
Right? Absolutely. So
So I guess we're getting to the point of the interview where we like to, you know, let you say all your thank yous and goodbyes, any shout outs or, you know, special comments you want to make to anybody in particular, something like that, or
okay. Yeah. I mean, first off, thank you both for coming to my space, and this is the first time I've ever done anything in this in this recording space with other people. It's pretty cool.
It is our pleasure.
Yeah.
It is our
Well,
pleasure.
thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for this to be uploaded. thanks for all of you who are listening to this. A small plug that I have, if you're looking for mixing or mastering for your band and stuff, I do that for very affordable rates. I'm happy to take a look at what you got. So, you can find my email on my Facebook page or just message me directly. I'd be happy to help you.
And we can pop a link on the website
right, of course.
there for you.
So,
oh yeah, we'll definitely make sure your contact info's on your page so
awesome,
bands can get a hold of you.
Cool. So yeah, other than that, I'm just I appreciate everything that's happening. I feel lucky that I've come so far with this project, and I continue to hope the plan is to continue growing. Building the Eneferens brand. Just getting out there, reaching more ears. So
I think you've done a wonderful job of that so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing what you were able to put together by yourself and really show people that one person can do it. One person can make a difference and actually get out there. And like you said, maybe you're not blowing up your bank account with all these extra funds or anything, but you're still able to do it in the sense that it's sustainable and
fulfilling
worthwhile.
for you. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. It's been amazing. Even though I'm still kind of starving artist status, but I'm loving it. It's great.
Sure.
So yeah.
No, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap this episode up. This was Eneferens. We are the Gallatin Underground. We'll let Jory play us one more wonderful song.
Perfect.
And call it a night. Bozeman, know your scene.
Thanks a lot, guys. This is a song called "Weight of the Mind's Periapt." Why now do I exist to wonder? You see the worst I have to offer. Here in your eyes I fail and falter. Within your sight the palest colors, still your allure has left me silent. If you surrender, I will follow into the bleakness of our constant.
Thank you again. This was episode 21. Oh, by the way, we're old enough to drink now. Eneferens of Gallatin Underground.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go get drunk now.
See ya.